All right, check 1, 2. What's going on, everybody? I got good levels on my end, so I think you can hear me. Welcome to the coaching call. This is Coach's Corner. I'm with Coach Joaquin, and this is for the Remix Your Run crew. There we go. Get my slides straight. um, and really, this is a call just to hear you guys out, how the training has been going thus far in week one, as we get that one in the bag and preparing for the next 3 weeks, really, is what this Coach's Corner calls about. What's going on, Maddie? Using the chat already. Sweet. Good times. All right. So let's run into what kind of the breakdown of this is. So we're going to go over a quick review of the workouts we've gone through so far, how that's going for you as individuals, then diving straight into like some common questions, coaches' insight, what it looks like to be developing if you're new to running or looking to expand on what you currently got. And then just go straight into live Q&A, any questions that you guys have queued up or things that come to mind. That's kind of what the whole thing is. So probably this call is probably going to be 15, 20 minutes, depending on what you guys are looking for out to get of it. So let's get it going, though, as people start popping in. Using the chat box, if you guys haven't already discovered, chat box in the one of these sides that I'm pointing. Let me know where you're tuning in from and just kind of how the week go for you. If you're coming back from running, if it was really crappy for you, if it was had some good days and bad days, let me know where you're tuning in from and how the week go for you. And I'll let you know. For me, I'm tuning in from I'm in Sacramento, California at the moment. And then the week went for me. It was okay. I didn't get all my workouts in. Busy start to my week, but it's also nice just to sweat a little. At least that helps me a lot. So go ahead and use the chat box, or if you're watching the replay, you can still pipe things in and I can catch it for the next one. All right, so I think we got a little quiet crowd today. No worries. So let's dive into some review stuff of this. But yeah, if you watch me play, by all means, feel free to pop in how the week go and where you're tuning in from. I have an idea where most of you are from, but it's all good though. So week one so far. Oh, here we go. Got Maddie in here. Thanks, Maddie. She's tuning in from Lake Stevens, Washington. Awesome week so far. Ran more in 1 week than I haven't. I'll just post it up. Here we go. So Maddie, there we go. One of my former athletes, Maddie, she's a superstar out there. Ran more than 1 week than I have in months. Really, that's kind of the cornerstone goal of this, the Remix Your Run. Just getting you out there in the friendliest way possible, and some accountability is clutch. If you got a group and you got a coach helping you out. It's gloomy and proper motivation. I'm with you on that one. I got clouds over here, and it's not fun to go out in the gloomy days. So props to you, Maddie. Props to you to rocking the music. And if anyone is similar to that one, you can pipe in. I know there's one athlete out there who is training in the snow every day. So I give mad props to that one. So thanks, Maddie, for sharing that one. So let's dive into some quick review of the week. So this past week, you ran for time on Tuesday. Again, you can switch those workouts to any days you want, but run for time, 20, 30 minutes. Keep it enjoyable. Make it work for you. If you want to go more, that's fine, but just note how you feel, and the mileage is really just what we're going for in that time frame. The interval workouts, that's effort-based workouts. I think you got an idea of how it feels on this past one. You got an idea. It's really how strong you want to feel. And I would focus for those who are still in that mixed zone of interval workouts, focus on hitting the actual interval intensity portion, because that's kind of the meat of the workout. Then for recovery, you can adjust the walk, you can adjust the jog. And for those gloomy or snowy peeps out there, you can totally do the interval workouts on a bike or on a rower or elliptical. If you're using something that's machine-based, I always say add 10 minutes before or after, just to get a little bit more out of the workout, since running is a little more, takes a little more taxing on that one. And then the mileage day, that's initially set on the low scale because the program's meant to be more on the beginner side. But if your standard mileage is 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, then make that your standard mileage. Ideally, Saturday is kind of the long run day. So that's what we're looking for on week one. so far, it looks like everyone's, or a good chunk of y'all are knocking those out. So props on those. And then week 2, little curveball on this one. So our first 2 workouts, run for time and interval, still on point with those. The third workout that we have is going to be circuit based, meaning this is going to be one of those high intensity hit training / CrossFit-esque workouts. But in this one, it has listed out the rounds. Go with what works for you, though, and I'll remind you as that workout comes. Go with what works for you on the number of rounds, because it is a little bit more of an intense one. Go at your own pace. Rock whatever music you want. I don't have a set list on that one, because that one's going to vary on everyone. But yeah, the circuit workout is going to be a full body workout, and just note that's one to your own pace. Do the amount that is appropriate for you. So that's my what we're looking at on the horizon for week 2. That's going to be a little game changer on that one. And if you guys have any questions, or if you're just jumping on the call, we're just reviewing the week real quick, and just let me know where you're tuning in from and how the week went for you. But this is a quick review of the week and what's on the horizon. Let's dive into some coaches insight, the coaches corner stuff, kind of the reason we're on here. I'm going to go over some quick submitted questions, and then send any questions you have in the chat box, one of these areas. There we go. Got my stuff up. Send any questions you have in the chat box. Happy to cover those. And anything's really free game. You can let me know how the week went for you. If you had any ups and downs, where the motivation may be lacking, hydration stuff, that's all free game in these corners. And I'm here to support you guys on this one. So, but let's dive into some of my common questions that I often get on these. If I can get there we go, my slide straight. What is the best shoe? So this is one of the most famous questions I get. being a runner, being someone who's trained in or worked in the shoe stores and everything in between. What's the best shoe is a common one. And what's up, Lupita? It's good to hear from you. You're not too far in my neighborhood, so awesome to have you on this, Lupita. Cool down stretch. It's a good one. Okay, we got some good questions coming up. So the best shoe. This one really depends, because everyone's built different. Not only the shape of the foot, but you have the mechanics that are going on. You have people's feet that change over time, especially people's feet, or especially on the women's side. I've seen people who love their shoe, then they get pregnant. All that weight changes the shape of the foot. Their favorite shoe before pregnancy is now doesn't work for them. So those are all these little things that go into consideration of what is the best shoe for you, knowing it can change over time. What I do recommend, I left my demo shoes downstairs. What I do recommend is if you can get to a Fleet Feet, or if you can get to a running store, get a biomechanics analysis. They're going to narrow down the shoes that work for you. They'll help you give you some selections based on what are the toe box, what are some of your overpronating and superpronating or supinating. Those are really help finding what works for you. Got one of my demo shoes here that I planned on using. For me, I'm a kind of a neutral, slight pronator. I really like the super thin shoes, but I come from a track background. So meaning I'm used to wearing track shoes that are already nothing and shoes that I'm in and out of. So this became friendly for me. Some of my athletes really like the Hokas or the thick super cushion. There's nothing wrong with those. It's just figuring out what works for you. And in terms of mechanics, I'm going to actually show you a video. So this is going to be an educational one right here. An educational Sunday morning. Okay. Got that queued up. And okay, so right here, I really like showing this video because I want you to see that angle right there. Oh, and it pauses it so conveniently for me. So this is a little bit of pronation. If I can get my laser pointer out and my fancy stuff here. So this is what I mean by mechanics, how the ankle's always going to be moving a little bit, but too much movement, then that's going to go up your chain in terms of your how it affects the movement of your knee and your hips. Then your runs are going to start getting shitty. When we talk about pronator or getting an analysis like at that Fleet Feet, they're going to do this for you. And what this means is that little movement, here we go, spills into motion stability control. So 3 types of shoe are typically what you want to look for. And again, having someone break down for you, having someone break down for you where you fit really helps. So your neutral shoes, you can take a look at your shoes right now. There's not much on this one, but the foam padding on the inside, there's three types. There's the neutral, there's no padding, and then there's some, which is a harder foam, and then a huge chunk right there. That's high motion control. It's really figuring out which one of these are most appropriate for you. And this can vary over time. So you can start in the super motion control and then work your way to neutral based on how your muscle strengths and things change over time. So that's my 2 cents on running shoe, which the best one is for you. It really varies. Another one I got earlier, how should I breathe when I run? So this is often the beginner runners. Your body's going to determine your rhythm, what's appropriate for you. But if your breathing's hurting, back off a little bit, let it come back. But you're knowing your breathing as you get in shape, it adapts over time. And then I get questions about nose breathing, focusing just breathing through the nose. It's kind of a restrictive, but I kind of call it more of a regulator. If I'm going for a long run and only breathing through my nose, my body's going to have its own internal regulator or cap on how much my pace can be determined. So nose breathing isn't bad. But if you're trying to do the interval workouts, I wouldn't recommend nose breathing. But long story short, breathing wise, it's going to change over time as you get in shape, and just your body will naturally adapt to your rhythm. And I see your questions, Lupita and Maddie. I want to knock these out real quick. Here we go. Stretching already. Types of stretching. So to Lupita and Maddie's questions, top favorite 3 cool down stretches and what to do after run. So the warm-up we have right now, we always start with a dynamic warm-up. And that's like the lunges, the swiping of the feet. And the reason being, that's going to allow your range of motion to warm up naturally. And I like to think of it as if your muscles are a rubber band. You die from nose breathing, totally. If your muscles are a rubber band, is this going to be a stretchier rubber band if I let it sit in the freezer for a day and then stretch it, or it's been in the sun, which is going to be more friendlier for stretching? Obviously, if it's warmed up, it's going to be friendlier. So your muscles are the same way. You can already warm them up through a natural range of motion, your lunges, your arm windmills, and all those goodies. That's just going to be friendlier and reduce a lot of injury potential. Now, post run, my favorite 3 stretches for me would be the hamstring stretching. So sometimes or hamstring and calves. So that's sometimes getting on a curb, putting my feet up, stretching out my calves, or just sitting down and sitting down and reaching for my toes. My hamstrings are the most common things that get tight. And then my IT band. So that's the side of the hip. And so for that one, low discomfort. Okay. I'm going to check on that one in a second, Luffy, your next question. And then what I also like to do, IT band stretch. So it's pretty much hamstring, IT band, and if you have one of these, I have it right behind me. I didn't grab my props before I jumped on. There you are. Okay. The foam roller. These are usually $20-$30, a lot of different kinds. This has probably been one of the best training tools I've had for 10-15 years. It's awesome for stretching hamstrings or massaging. So if you're having various kind of aches, this is probably the easy $30 that by no means is it just for runners, but it's a great tool. This one's Trigger Point. It has a hard plastic. You can get these as all foam. Everyone has a little different. I go with the hard plastic now because that doesn't break down. But you can do a lot of drills on these. after workouts, and that's where massaging your knee hamstrings, your IT bands, your calves, your lower back, your back period. I'm a huge fan of these post runs, so I usually sit, stretch my hamstrings, and spend a little time on this, and that's my maintenance for my running, my biking, my yogaing. There's a lot of stuff on the foam rollers I'd recommend on that. I think I touched all those three so far. Yeah, and static stretching post workout is okay. Yeah. So let's dive into just general Q&A here. Yeah. Okay, Lupita. Okay, your question. A little discomfort in the knee while running, but it goes away during the run and doesn't hurt after the run. Where in the knee? Is that at the bottom of the knee, the outside on the right side, or the outside of the knee on the side, at the top of the knee? Because that can really vary. Of kind of give some insight of what's going on. I'm gonna read it again so I make sure I'm reading it. But it goes away during the run. It doesn't hurt after. Yeah, my initial thing about when I hear it goes away at some point, that could be the top of the knee. Okay, top of the knee. So it's probably quad related. It sounds like that might be some quad tightness. I would let me see. I would see if you can do, what would that look like? Quad stretches or just a little bit more warm up. It sounds like the top of your knee or your quad might be a little tight, because I'm guessing once you get warmed up, that's when it releases and it feels okay. The flexibility gets a little bit more. So the quick things that would come to mind for me in that situation, depending on what kind of pain it is or discomfort, if it's light pain or light like soreness, but it goes away. It could be you're just a little extra tight, so you can massage it. As once you get kind of warmed up, just use your palm to kind of rub out some of the tissue or the muscles there, see if they get a little loosened up and friendly. Um, that's one thing that can be done. And then another thing, you could also just stand and do the quad stretch after you do your warm up drills. You can just stand and just do a quad stretch where you kind of stand and pull your pull your ankle behind your butt, just that one-legged stretch. That might loosen up some of the tension there. And I'd say just monitor it over the next 2 weeks. If you're kind of still new to all the running stuff, it could be it's just cranky. So it's just adapting to the running and all this new training that you're doing right now. So that might just kind of do itself away. But if it gets to a sharp pain, if it's changing the way you have to you kind of walk or run, then I'd say back off. A little rest, a little massage, and just kind of see where it goes from there. And it could also maybe be a shoe thing. That could be one of those where, there you go, my demo shoe here. I ran the heck out of these, but if you notice back here in this spot, it's nice and flat, where this still has some of the shoe portion of it. So this is promoting my foot strike to when I heel strike and move in, because that's all it's telling me is when I walk or I run, I strike on this corner of the roll in. This is making me move more because there's less tread in comparisons uneven. So if you have shoes that are kind of like that, promoting those slight bad mechanics, that can sometimes be a little cranky. But considering your pain goes away after, I'm guessing it just needs just a little cranky, and just the quads need a little love on that one. So good question. That's not an uncommon one. So I'm going to scan through if there's any other questions. Yeah. I know Maddie's goal was to kind of get off the couch, get moving a little bit more. Did you have any goals that you're training for, or just wanting to get out with the train Lupita? What's you got 3 weeks left. Is there something at the end of the finish line for you on this one? So you can make sure I can tailor or adjust anything on that for you as well. Okay, you kind of mentioned a little bit earlier too. Been months since I first ran, totally. And I don't know if you caught it earlier, Lupita, but these workouts are friendly to do on a bike, especially the interval stuff. I listen to my own workouts and do it on a bike, standing on the pedals for the interval portion, and it still gets the job done for me and saves my knees a little bit because I got cranky knees nowadays. um, awesome. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll probably hang out another few minutes for anyone else who pops in and for the replay too. Um, yes, routine established and increased mileage. Oh my gosh, getting a routine established in quarantine is priceless, assuming it's a positive routine. So yeah, totally with you on that one. And to keep it fun, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, that music has been one to not feeling workout, plug it in, push play, and I can knock out something. It kind of takes me with it. So I'm glad you're here with the crew because that's a common sentiment. Just want to get something established and have fun with it. So awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, I'll do a quick recap in case anyone else jumps in real quick. This week will be similar stuff. Saturday's workout was going to be circuit training. That's body weight stuff. So go with what works for you. You don't have to do the full full amount of rounds. I'd say throw in your own headphones or your own favorite playlist on that one and knock out what you can at a pace that's appropriate for you. So adapt that Saturday circuit training workout to your needs in that respect. And then we'll have a coaching call, not next week, but following. So there's only 2 in this 4-week span. But anything that pops up, you can note it in the app or text message me on that. And I'll start tracking those questions and bring them up so you guys can watch the replay. If you can't catch these live, that's essentially why I did on YouTube. It's so friendly to do replays. Me and Noodle arms are ready. Totally, Maddie. We might have done this circuit training a while ago or a modified version. So it may be coming back to haunt you or maybe coming back to party with you. I don't know. You can let me know on that one. So but it's a good one. I do recommend Saturday's work in the circuit training, your own pace, what works for you. There's some running in there, and you'll get nice lactic acid legs in those. 4 weeks are going to fly. For sure they will. What will happen after? That's up to you. There are still going to be some other programs going. I am doing personal training through the app with other individuals. So it really just kind of fits of what you're trying to lock into. There may be another round of the remix your run as we take this group. I'm trying to keep it in like cohort style so everyone can kind of see each other's names a little bit and grow each other. So yeah, but after this, it's really up to you, but we can definitely chat and build out something that works for you and keeps you going if you're having fun with this kind of stuff. So totally. Awesome. So I think I might wrap it up with that, you guys. It's just under 30 minutes, kind of what I figured. Cool. Yeah, if there's no more questions or something comes up later, do use a text message. It's a separate app for me that I have to jump into, but I do check it. I love communicating with you guys. I think I sent a round of videos to you, and Lupita, you got added midweek, so you missed that round of videos, but I got one coming for you. I'll take care of you. Awesome. And thank you, Lupita and Maddie. And to anyone watching the replay, thank you for jumping on. Let me know how the program's going for you. We got week 2 starting tomorrow. You already know what to expect with a timed run, an interval workout, and then switching up with that circuit training. It's going to be a full body workout. I do recommend getting warmed up for that and taking care of your body after that, because I forget that there's certain muscle, or I have certain muscles after I do circuit training. I forgot I have certain muscles in different places, so it's all good. All right, guys, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the digital world. Keep rocking.